Is India capable of taking care of her children? A recent UN report says India is the most dangerous place in the world to be a girl child.
This little girl did not live long. She lasted just 3 months before her battered little body gave up the fight to stay alive in a world that did not deserve her. Neha Afreen had the love of her young teenage mother, Reshma Bano. But from her father, Umar Farooq, she had only resentment for being born the wrong gender. Resentment that allegedly was expressed in repeated violence that became worse and worse. The last attack on this defenseless child turned out to be fatal.
बच्ची पैदा हुए जब से इसका ये बच्ची को बहुत तकलीफ दिया, मासूम बच्ची वो इतना तकलीफ दिया, उसे दिल भी कैसा होएगा, हमारा कलेजा फट जाता मासूम बच्ची को.
The battered and bitten baby was taken to a government hospital in Bangalore and later transferred to another, where she was put on a ventilator. Days after the attack, when a doctor at the second hospital alerted child welfare authorities, her father was arrested.
In KGHD, a person by name Umar Farooq has tried to kill his own child, which is hardly 3 months old. So that's why we have taken up a case. It is said that he has tried several times in many ways to kill his own child because it is a girl child, female baby. So also, during our investigation, it is known that he was demanding money from his wife as a dowry.
The repeated dowry demands and the beating of his young wife led Reshma's parents to the police for help, but they drew a blank.
मार के 4 बार हो गया, वो स्टेशन कहता है ना, 4 बार स्टेशन में 4 बार भी फैसला हुआ. वो पल्ले के आदमी बोलिया, समझाया, फिर आप सुधर जाएगा, जाओ छोड़ो बोल. आया फिर भी नहीं सुधरा वो. फिर महीने में पैसा मंगा, फिर महीना मारना.
Frightened and traumatized, the young mother, who did not know where to turn for help, initially was reluctant to outright blame her husband for the attack on her child.
मेरी बेबी को मैं नहीं कह सकती कि मेरे हस्बैंड ने किया है बोल के, क्योंकि बेबी तो पहले भी वीक थी. इसीलिए मैंने जब नाइट में उठ के देखा तो बेबी के ऊपर कंबल था, कंबल के अंदर मुंह में कपड़ा दुपट्टा रखा हुआ था, मुंह के अंदर था दुपट्टा, उसके ऊपर पिल्लो था. मैंने हस्बैंड को पूछा है क्या हुआ है, उन्होंने कहा तकिया है ना, मैंने सिराने रखा था तकिया, और कंबल मैंने उड़ा के था, उन्हीं बाजू में रखा था, हो सकता है चूस के उन्होंने अंदर ले लिया होगा बोल के.
But later, after meeting with activists and social workers and still praying for the survival of her baby, it was clear she did not want her husband to get away with what he had done.
मुझे मेरी बेबी के लिए इंसाफ चाहिए, सबक मिलना चाहिए. ये मैं चाहती हूँ, उसको सबक मिलना चाहिए कि किसी के कोई लड़की के साथ ऐसा कभी भी नहीं होना चाहिए.
Reshma Bano would have wanted to protect her baby to keep her safe from harm. But the young mother is a victim herself. She seems to be living a double nightmare, that of being a battered wife and of praying for the survival of her tiny little daughter, who seems to have faced the same kind of terrible violence herself. The vigil at the hospital was heartrending. Reshma had the support of her parents, who said they would not send her back to live with a man who had caused such trauma.
हम गरीब लोग हैं, फिर भी हम पालते हैं उसको. 4 बेटी है, ये भी एक बेटी हम अपना है.
बच्ची गई तो बस हमें भी करने का कोशिश कर रही है. पूरे दुनिया वाला उसे बच्ची बच गई तो बस बेबी बची तो बस करी. मैं भी 4 लड़का, एक के घर का कुली मजदूरी कर बच्चा बड़े करी. मैं माल ही नहीं, तकलीफ दी नहीं, मैं गरीब नहीं आई हूँ. बच्चा बहुत अच्छा पाली मैं. मेरे आदमी भी छोटा मोटा बिजनेस करते हैं, आइस कैंडी का व्यापार करते हैं साइकिल में, उसमें मैं घर के काम सब कर ले, बच्चों को बहुत अच्छा पाली.
But the longed for miracle did not happen. Baby Neha Afreen slipped into a coma and later died following a cardiac arrest after days in the ICU. Doctors tried to revive her but could not start her little heart again.
We tried our level best. From the beginning, the baby was critical. We tried to resuscitate the baby with all drugs and cardiac massage and all the resuscitative measures. But in spite of all our measures, baby was declared dead at 11:10.
The mother of the 3-month-old, little more than a child herself, was left to deal with this unspeakable and senseless tragedy.
She couldn't express because there was nobody next to her today, not even somebody who held her and said, "You can cry." When she was crying, they were telling, "Don't cry." And when I said, "Let her cry," she's a mother, she's lost her baby, she needs to cry.
A post-mortem and a funeral for a young life snuffed out so cruelly. A victim of the gender bias that pervades our society, that results in female feticide, infanticide, lack of sufficient nourishment and health care for young girls, harassment and murder for the sake of dowry. A bias revealed clearly by the skewed sex ratio. But little Neha Afreen should not become just another grim addition to already frightening statistics. She was a living, breathing little girl who deserved a chance. The tragedy of baby Neha Afreen. Her 3-month-old body could not survive the battering it received for being born a baby girl. And the tragedy does not die with her. Her young 19-year-old mother, Reshma Bano, will have to continue to live with that pain. And thousands of baby girls around our country continue to be in mortal danger.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.